My name is Kevin Eaton. I am a certified gang intervention specialist. I was born and raised in Baltimore, Maryland. I moved to Los Angeles, California in 1987 and returned to live in my hometown, Baltimore, in 2002. The last 6 years of me living in Los Angeles, I worked in South Central, Watts, and Compton as a certified gang intervention specialist. I am now living in my hometown, Baltimore, Maryland, and it has been brought to my attention that we have Bloods and Crips in Baltimore. And myself, as a gang intervention specialist, my endeavor is to bring gang intervention into effect in Baltimore. When I returned to Baltimore in 2002, the news was showing every night pretty much a lot of unexplained shootings. And they kept saying they didn't know what was going on, why it was a lot of shootings that were going that were unexplained, why people were getting shot. And at that time, you know, I had spoke to my wife, now my ex-wife. You know, I told her, I let her know, these are gang initiations. You know, Baltimore hadn't come to the point where it had actually realized or acknowledged that we had a gang situation here in Baltimore, but the gang intervention specialist in me, being with the Bloods and the Crips and knowing how they operate, I knew automatically that's what it was. I had an opportunity to go and talk to the mayor personally, one-on-one. A friend of our family had passed away, Miss Mary Carter Smith had passed away, and I attended her funeral, and to my surprise, the mayor attended the funeral too. To my surprise, Mayor Sheila Dixon walked into church. She went into the church, she viewed the body, and she walked out of the church. And as she was walking out of church, I came out of the aisle, and I proceeded to follow her out of the church, and I just happened to catch up with her in the foyer. Right in the little foyer before she got a chance to go outside, and all the Secret Service men was outside. So I had the opportunity to talk to her, and I told her who I was. I told her, you know, the work that I did in California, Los Angeles, how long I lived out there, how long I've been a gang intervention specialist. And I told her that my assessment, my professional assessment of our city is that we do have a gang situation in Baltimore. She said, we need somebody like you. And she referred me to a community-based organization, which was COIL, Communities Organized to Improve Life. I mean, that was a good thing that she did. I was really looking forward to having a meeting with her so we could go over the strategies of gang intervention and the importance of gang intervention when you have gangs, you know, in your area, gangs in your city. But like most people, Miss Sheila Dixon didn't know anything about gangs. She did the best she could. She referred me to an agency that had Safe Streets, which since then has now been disbanded. And my purpose of this documentary, this you know, this video, whatever you want to call it, is to bring attention, hopefully, to our mayor now. Hopefully, Miss Stephanie Rawlins Blake will see this video, or somebody in her office may see the video and recognize that we do have somebody in Baltimore City that is a resident, born and raised here, that has been certified and has knowledge to gang intervention. I recently revisited Los Angeles. I spent 10 days out there. I was out there from June the 18th to June the 28th, and I stayed in South Central Los Angeles. And I am very, very pleased at the way Los Angeles is looking. I mean, when I was out there 10 years ago, there was gang graffiti written all over the place. And when I went out there this time, I was surprised to see that there was hardly any graffiti, gang writing anywhere in any of the hoods. That just shows you the effect that gang intervention is having in Los Angeles. Also, I might add that when I was living out there in South Central, I mean, we heard gunfire every night. There was gunshots every night. And the ghetto bird, which they call the ghetto bird, which we might call the chopper, the helicopter, the police helicopter, was out every night. That's a common thing. Well, it was a common thing. Well, when I stayed out there, and for the 10 nights that I stayed in South Central Los Angeles, I did not hear any gunshot at all. I did not see any response from the police and the ghetto bird coming to responding to a shooting at all. And when I talk about gunfire in Los Angeles, I'm not talking about something to go pat, 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 pat. I'm talking about something to go like that's what it that's what it sounded like in Los Angeles prior to my leaving 10 years ago. And I'm very happy to say that there was none of that going on the 10 days that I was out there. So it does show the significance and the effect that gang intervention has had in Los Angeles. And gang intervention in Los Angeles works the same way gang intervention will in Baltimore. Gang intervention will work in Philadelphia. Gang intervention will work in Ireland. It will work in England. It will work anywhere in the world, provided we have the buy-in and we have the participation from everybody from the top, which is the mayor, everybody under her, to the bottom, which we might say the actual gang member. So the gang intervention is working in Los Angeles at the moment, and everybody has a buy-in to it, even the gang members themselves. To be honest with you, the lot of gang banging that we see right now, you know, is like the artists, the rappers and stuff. Like for instance, Drake and Chris Brown had their little beef. So that's all we see is stuff like that, but we don't actually see what's happening in the community. So did you know that in Los Angeles, the big promoter is about to promote a fight at the Staples Center between Drake and Chris Brown, and going to pay each of them $1 million, okay? Now, if you banging in your hood, you think somebody gonna come to you and give you $1 million and put you someplace in the arena so that you know you can make money and you can make money for charity and stuff like that? I don't think so. That is not going to happen. The neighbors and the community that are in Los Angeles right now, I mean, they have what's called a ceasefire, which is what I'm promoting in Baltimore, a ceasefire where we will not have any gunfire from gang members, and to actually decrease the killings, the gang killings, because that's what gang leads up to. You have one gang shoot somebody from this other gang, and then they're dead, and then you have retaliation, which is more death. Then you have an all-out war, which means innocent people start getting killed. Children are getting killed going to the store. Grandparents are getting killed sitting in their house watching The Price is Right. And this is something that we haven't gotten to the point of yet. It all depends on the situation, how we handle our gang issue in Baltimore. So I'm hoping that everybody get a chance to watch this. From the mayor to the chief of police, to the churches, the pastors, to Johns Hopkins University, to the University of Maryland, which are located in Baltimore, to the gangbangers, because gang intervention involves everybody. It involves everybody. In order for it to work, everybody has to have a buy-in, and everybody has to be serious about changing our neighborhoods, our gang-infested neighborhoods, into gang-controlled communities. Gang intervention work. So stay tuned. Like any other documentary, it might be kind of long. So hey, put your VCR or your computer on pause. Go get you some soda. Go get you a 40 ounce or whatever it is you do, you know, to do your intermission, and turn this video back on, because there's a lot of information on here that can help everybody, like I say, from the mayor down to the street gang banger. You know, one more thing I want to say before we get started with the interviews is that The Wire was very, very popular in South Central. Very popular. They look at Baltimore and they think of The Wire. So what happened was a lot of gang members that were Bloods and Crips that weren't doing too well in Baltimore, that weren't doing too well in L.A. because of The Wire, because they saw it was on The Wire, they came to other cities. Baltimore was one that they chose because they saw the activities on The Wire, and they figured they could come here and start something that they were not able to do in Los Angeles. I mean, them Crips and Bloods in Los Angeles have cars, nice cars, okay? They have money. They have a lot of nice looking females. They live in a city where it never gets cold, where it never snows all winter long. So why would they leave Los Angeles to come to Baltimore? Okay? They not. So if somebody comes here and say he's from a Hoover Crip gang and he wants to start you guys, you know, banging with them, or say he's from the Swans, from the Blood, you know, maybe he came through New York or something like that, check him. Check him. Say, hey, take me to your hood. Let me see what your hood is doing. You know, before you start shooting guns and stuff like that he's passing on to you, find out what his homies is doing. Find out what his homies, how they feel about him. Okay? Because when you start banging Blood and Crip, you start banging some history. You start banging some hood names where people have died, where people have been just murdered and slaughtered, and other people have just killed because of Blood or because of Crip. So before you take on these titles, find out who you banging for. If your big homie don't take you there, then he ain't your big homie. And realistically, if you're Blood and Crip in Baltimore, the closest thing that you have to a big homie is me. Point blank. Because there are no OG Bloods in Baltimore. There are no OG Crips in Baltimore. So if you're a Crip and Blood in Baltimore, you got to be a G, you got to be a youngster, you got to be a young banger. And one thing about Bloods and Crips, they respect their OGs. They know the work that they OGs have put in, and they respect them. Okay? So, like I say, the closest thing you guys got to an OG in Baltimore, if you're a Blood and a Crip, is the big homie on the radio. You can check me out on 1010 AM. I'm on there every Monday from 11 to 11:30. The name of the talk show is Shop Talk with Cassandra Renee. I'm the co-host. So if you want to, you know, check me out there, I'm there. And if you want to go to LA yourself, you want to talk to anybody in any hood, you contact me. I'll make sure that I meet you out there, or I'll fly on the plane with you. Because that's what a gang intervention specialist does. He does whatever it takes necessary to promote peace and stop the killings. So if you want to be a Blood, or you are a Blood, and you are not knowledge, or you don't know where your Blood set is, or where your Crip set is, or the history of your set, that's what I'm here for. I would rather for you guys to come to me first before you start shooting and capping on people for a set that you don't even know where Pyru Street is. Okay? So let's have a ceasefire in Baltimore. Okay? Take it from the OJ, the big homie on the radio. I'm promoting a ceasefire with the Bloods and the Crips in Baltimore, and let's make downtown Inner Harbor a no banging zone. Baltimore is becoming a place on the map that is known for great tourism. So let's keep that tourism going. Let's let people around the world know that it's safe to come to Baltimore, it's safe to come down to the harbor, and it's safe to spend their money down there. And so Baltimore will start having this influx of money, tourist money, just like Los Angeles does, because Los Angeles is not an industrial city. Most of their money is made off of fame and fortune. You know, tourists. Everybody tour, they want to go to California. That's how Los Angeles makes its money. Baltimore is going into the same direction because we're no longer an industrial city. There's no industry here anymore. Bethlehem Steel is gone. London Fog is gone. You name it, they're gone. So we are getting into the business of tourism. So, ceasefire in Baltimore. No bang zone downtown and at the Inner Harbor. And let's promote gang intervention. I hope the mayor sees this, but I'm glad that you are looking at this, because you can make a difference. Let's stay in contact. Peace. Much love. Let's stop the killing. Thank you very much for your attention. Oh yeah, and for a brief footnote to our Mayor Stephanie Rawlins Blake, I had a brief encounter with you. I spoke with you one time. You in February 2011, you came to school 231, Brems Lane Elementary School, and they were celebrating Black History Month. It was February, and they asked me to come play the piano. I was a parent there. My son was attending school at the time, and I was playing the piano, and they asked me to play Lift Every Voice and Sing. And it was February the 14th, which was Valentine's Day, and immediately following the assembly, I presented you with some roses, with some flowers. So that was me, you know, gang intervention at its finest. Okay, now we're in a blood neighborhood. This is where the Black P Stones, this their neighborhood, BPS. This is where T. Rogers, you know, this is his hood. And we're here, we're gonna meet Count from the Blood Gang, the Bishops, and he's has an organization, community-based organization, and they're gonna do a cleanup out here, and we're gonna meet with him a little later. Hopefully we can get a nice interview from him. Black P Stone neighborhood, yay yay. You don't see no graffiti. That's one thing I noticed about Los Angeles now. There's not a lot of graffiti like it was when I was here 10, 15 years ago. Graffiti was everywhere, and they've cleaned up. They don't have graffiti all over the place and all over the walls, and it's really nice. It's very nice here in Los Angeles. Very nice. Jim Killian Park. This is where the Bloods hang out. It's kind of early in the morning because it's an early morning cleanup. So that's why you don't see anybody, any gang members, anything hanging out right now. But they'll be out here later to show. Yeah, we up at Jim Killian Park. Like I said before, this is BPS hood. As you can see, there's no graffiti anywhere. I mean, this is something I gotta get used to because I'm used to being able to read the walls and tell what neighborhood we're in by the graffiti writing. But to let you know that we're definitely here. We should have some BPS right here. Black P Stones. We're in the Black P Stone hood. Yay, yay, California love for sure. Alrighty then, this is the Worldwide Least Talking About co-host. I'm out here in Los Angeles. We're in in Black P Stones neighborhood. I'm gonna introduce you to one of my good friends. I was a gang intervention worker who taught me 99% of what I know about gangs and how to stay alive and how to work organizations, things of that nature. This is my boy Count. Count, you just tell him who you are and some history and what you do, man.
Behind that, I grew up in L.A. I've been doing intervention for about 20 years. I was one of the people that was instrumental in putting the 1992 gang troops together
Okay.
in L.A. From that point, just been deeply entrenched in intervention.
So we do have a gang truce in L.A., right?
Oh yeah, there's always a gang truce somewhere in L.A.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so go ahead, man. I ain't gonna ask you no questions, man. You just shoot your game. That's the mayor's watching, you know what I'm saying? The whole city of Baltimore. I'm on the radio every Monday from 11:30, WOLB. Every Monday, man. So people hear my voice every Monday. You know what I mean? So when I get on the radio, I'm gonna let them know to go to YouTube, check this out. We're doing some gang intervention in Baltimore. Yours truly is gonna be doing it.
Okay, so simply what I was pretty much saying is that, you know, with the intervention stuff, first of all, you got to have some folks that really want to do it and really got their nose is clean, because as part of doing the intervention, it's going to, you know, the police come along with that part, and they're going to make sure if you come out the streets that you're serious about doing what you say you're going to be doing, you know. But like I was telling you earlier, I just think, you know, back on the East Coast, that putting together intervention should be easier than out here, because of the brothers back on the East Coast seem to me to be more conscious, you know more about religion, know more about, you know, politics, you know, just know more about a lot of dudes out here know. It's like out here it's just about straight up gangs, so you got to be very crafty when you're talking to somebody about getting them to change their mind about their ways, you know what I'm saying, about who they might think is their enemies and stuff like that. But back your way, you know, like I say, you know, you got brothers that's already educated, you know what I'm saying, they're just probably the point of you just bringing real to them, you know what I'm saying, and let them know, you know, there you could say like, oh, it's, you know, we need to be black, man, and everybody understand what it means to be black. Out here, everybody really don't understand that, so you got to come with other kind of twists to the stuff to be able to get brothers to understand, you know. We got to talk about another enemy that we all have in common, to be able to make brothers unified. And back there, it shouldn't be so hard with brothers being as conscious as they are, you know. So that was one of my main pushes, you know. And then it just getting out there and just really
You working with you?
yeah, they down at.
So what? Explain that to my people.
Things
Yeah, what you doing?
Oh, we're doing a community cleanup. What we do is we engage some of the guys that are in our program that come from this community, you know, encourage them to go back to their own communities and clean up their own communities. So right now what we're doing is like this side of the community right here has a lot of shrubbery and stuff like that in here. And what we're doing is we're going to remove all that shrubbery, you know, and make it all nice. So we got weed whackers, we got trimmers out here, we got brooms, we got rakes, we got everything out here. Also, there's a group out here that we got that's called the Highlanders that belong to our organization here at, I work for Community Build, and they belong to our organization. They're like seasonal firefighters and stuff. So, in our program, we sponsor them by buying them boots and all the fire gear they need. So a part of the program is for, you know, we're going to spend this money into them that these guys are to come out and do some kind of community service activities, kind of pay us back or show us appreciation for us, you know, investing that money into them, because we invest at least up to about $500 to $700 to each individual.
What's up, man? How you doing, bro?
Hey, bro, how you doing?
Hey, these cats right here asking about these tools, man.
Leave it there. Something leave it there.
All right, hey, me and old boy them, we parked on the wrong side. We're a little late. They still trying to find a parking spot, so I jumped out on them.
Okay.
So I'm gonna start working right now.
Go ahead, sir. So yeah, that's basically what we're doing. You know, we just, you know, we do this. We go from community to community. Because the guys that are part of the Highlander Fire crew are from different communities. You know, the crew come from out the Angeles National Forest. You know, like I said, it's a seasonal thing. You know, it helps these, you know, these gentlemen be able to focus and feel good about themselves and feel like there's really something in the future for them and stuff. You know. So that's just one part of the program and stuff. And then another part of our program and stuff that we do. You know, the program and stuff is like, you know, it's really crucial. The street intervention part is one thing. Once you get them to stop, you got to really have something in place for these people to really be able to go to. You know, you got to be able to really support them in a real way. You know, you got to make these people human. You got to make them whole. And I figure how we start that process off is when we get a person to come into our program and we start doing the intake process and everything. One of the first things we ask them, do they have ID, do they have a social security card, or do they have a birth certificate? Because it's going to be hard to work with somebody and get them to the next level if they don't have that type of identification. So, first part, you know, and that's budgeted into our budget as far as our program is concerned. That's called participant-related costs, you know. So with that, we're able to, you know, pay for that kind of stuff. And then bring them into the program, then we test them. You know, we got these tests, CASAs, which is like a proficiency kind of test, you know, where we test them, you know, reading and math, see what the reading and math scores are, so we'll know exactly who it is that we're dealing with and what kind of services we need to provide to this individual. From there, that person goes to a case manager, a professional case manager, and then that person is assessed. Now, let me bag it up a little bit. Before the case manager, the person actually goes to a therapist, and the therapist is the person that assesses the person. From there, that assessment is sent back down to the case manager. The case manager calls the client in to work with the client on a plan for the client to see, you know, where is it they're going to go in life and what it is they really want to do in life. You know what I'm saying? And see how it is that we can match the educational stuff up with whatever kind of job opportunity or schooling they want to do. You know, so from that point, after we measure all that stuff up right there. We start working on a goal. We bring that goal to our team. Our team is intervention workers, case managers, therapists, data collectors. You know, myself as the director. You know, we all get together and we come up with a plan for this person. After we come up with a plan for the individual, then we bring the individual back in and we discuss the plan with the individual, see if there's any adjustments need to be made to the plan or whatever. And from that point, we start actually working with the person. Okay. When the first thing we do is we gear them into our life skills program. The life skill program is the one that's going to give you the actual skills that you're going to need to be able to start going out in the public and dealing with folks, you know, to be able to do job interviews, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. Be able to, you know, do resumes, you know, knowing how to check yourself and check your attitudes, you know what I'm saying, you know, how to deal with whatever it may be that's out there, you know, that you're going out there to deal with. And then two, we do another assessment to see, if the individual is on drugs, or using drugs or anything like that, because we have a substance abuse counselor. I forgot to mention that earlier. We have a substance abuse counselor, and then if you do have any kind of drug history, we send you to the substance abuse counselor to try to get you back focusing on the right place and get you off drugs, because for the most part, most jobs are going to send you to the drug test, so that's going to be one of the biggest barriers there. And so we send you there, and the drug counselor works with them on a continuous basis. Well, being involved in both these programs, there are stipends involved in both of these programs, because you want to get the person in the program and you want to make them stick. You don't want them to just come and hear you talk and then go about their business. So every 2 sessions that you do, so every 2 life skill sessions that you do, there's a $25 gift card involved. And the reason why this $25 gift card is involved is so that the individual don't take it upon themselves to have to go back out in the street and try to sell some crack or rob somebody for a couple of dollars to survive off of, right? We figuring like, if I give this $25 gift card to Targets, to Walmart, to some kind of big store, or either if you have a vehicle, give you a $25 gas card, this is a big part of you, being able to make that transformation without having to go back into doing the negative stuff that you were doing to get money. And it's to keep you focused and keep you there involved in our program. Same thing with our substance abuse program. Individuals come, and every 2 sessions they come to our substance abuse program. Same incentive is involved in that, right? So after most of these cats are successful at doing what they do in our program and stuff, for doing the life skills and the substance stuff. And then when it's that time to start, like gearing them toward like the real stuff, like I don't want to go to these trade schools and stuff and get a trade up under their belt, right? Once you done completed all that stuff, then there's more money inside that same line item participant-related cost that I'm able to pay the fee for that person to go actually go to the trade school.
Okay.
And while the person is in the trade school, it's like I'm constantly tracking this person while this person is inside the trade school, doing what this person is doing on a regular basis. So not only have we taken through all of the other steps, now we got them into something that's positive in their life. We got them headed towards something positive in their life and being tracked at the same time, because this program, I got to have 3 contacts with this person per month for the person to stay eligible to be in our program.
Okay.
So it's got to be 2 individual contacts, and it's got to be family contact. And the family contact is not always the family. Family contact might be the neighbor that he looked at as family. Family contact might be his homeboy that he ran with on a regular basis. So I need to have a family contact with this person as well. And then the 4th step is for us to then sit there and have a team meeting to see what kind of progress is this person. Is this person better? Is this person worse? Or is this person the same? And if the person is worse or the same, then we need to rethink our plans and come up with something new. And so, we do that part, and we continue to push them from there. Other things come up. We got a lot of different job resources that we're able to dive into. We got a GED prep program that's part of our programming. So a lot of these cats are they ain't finished high school, need a GED, involved in the gang, so I can't cross all these different gang boundaries and stuff like that. So the program, we actually had a program on site, so we were able to come into our office and you're able to start doing GED prep stuff, right? Once we figure like you at that point that we figure like you ready to go take the GED, then we'll pay that fee for you to go take that GED.
You pay the fee for them to go?
You pay the fee for them to go take the GED.
Man, okay.
So the big part about a program and to make a program work is you got to have some political backing, first of all. I hear the politicians believe in what we do out here.
Right.
So they put that money behind it, and we have a lot of success with doing that.
Right.
But if you ain't got that political backing, then the program ain't going to be nothing. Everybody's going to steadily be crying about we got a gang problem, we got a gang problem. First thing you got to do is you got to admit that you got the problem, and then start working on some solutions to the problem. You know what I'm saying? Before the problem grow too big to where it gets out of control. So if you got some of these kind of things in place, then you're able to really start having some success within the community. Because once you start working with some of these guys and they start to get a job, you become part of the Highlanders and all this kind of stuff. But the other guys start looking at it too, because in reality, most people that's in the street don't want to just be locked into the street.
Right.
They want to live a regular life like everybody else.
Right.
But I done got caught up into this lifestyle, and I haven't been able to figure a way out. Well, my program is a way out. You know what I'm saying? It's a way out, and it's a way for you to be able to go out and make a decent salary, be able to provide for your family, relink them to the family, you know what I'm saying? Make you like an everyday human being, you know what I'm saying? And so that's really the key to it, is just giving them the opportunity to be like anybody else. If you keep putting the stigma on them that you're a gang member, you ain't gonna be nothing, we don't work with y'all, it's gonna get worse, because all he's doing when he's making these crazy moves that they're making in the streets and all the shooting and stuff like that is really a big cry for help. And if you don't understand it's a cry for help, then, you know, shame on you, you know, because that's just what it is, you know, and they asking somebody to help me. Say, youngsters talk, you know, in reverse, you know what I'm saying? They come with this reverse psychology. They won't just come out to you and say, hey, I need some help, man. They're gonna come to you, man, all stuff is messed up and all this and that, and hopes that you got some positive energy to feed into them. You know what I'm saying? All they asking you, like in so many words, is, man, give me a way out, help me out of this, you know what I'm saying? And we've been really successful at helping people out, you know, getting them back into schools, you know what I'm saying, making contact with the schools, making contact with other agencies that's within the community that offer things that we don't offer, making partnerships with them as well, you know what I'm saying, being able to really communicate with law enforcement, you know what I'm saying, without the conflict being there, you know what I'm saying, being able to deal with probation, parole, and all these kind of people who are like the parents of these people until they offer probation and parole, you know what I'm saying, and getting and having them trust in our program to send them to our program, you know, so we could be able to really help them. You know, we don't have any problems like with probation, parole, and all that in law enforcement because they all believe in our program. Okay. They believe in it at first, and I'm an open doors kind of person, man. I figure like I ain't doing nothing wrong, so there's nothing to hide. Come in my shop and if you feel like coming in the shop. You know what I'm saying? Don't make an appointment so I have to put on a show for you. Just come in. And most of them took me up on it and popped in and when they came in and seen what they seen, you know, they were really impressed, you know what I'm saying, that it was a real program out here that was really trying to help somebody. You know what I'm saying? So from that point, man, we've been really successful at helping. And then with that, we also have another component to our program. It's another program called Project Save. This is gang reduction youth development through the mayors. What I'm talking about right now, what we're doing is called Project Save. It's a program through the council. Yeah. So it's another program called Project Save that we're working through, that we do some other programs. A lot of it is community recreation and helping folks in a different age bracket in the same way. And this one has like late night hoops, has adult flag football, we do co-ed softball, we take kids camping, like we're taking kids camping July 17th to the 19th. We're taking 8 to 12 year olds camping and stuff like that. Then it rolls around to about January, we start our late night hoops. In March, we take about 200 and some kids up to the mountains and skiing and snowboarding and stuff like that. So this whole approach is like is us approaching the whole entire family. You know what I'm saying? Us dealing with everybody. I'm doing intensive work with the actual member, but in return, I'm helping the family out too to keep the family engaged in what we do. You know, so if I'm able to work with this person and then take his kid to a camp, you know what I'm saying? They're more up to coming to deal with me because it's like, you know, these people are really genuine. These people are really trying to help us. You know what I'm saying? And then we have a prevention program, and you know, in most cases these guys working with their kids are at prevention age, so we have a prevention program as well. And then if they don't fit our criteria, we send them to our prevention program to be able to make sure everybody in this family getting help. Because there's no need of helping one person and not helping the rest of them, because he goes back home into the same old stuff. You know what I'm saying? And to be able to help the whole family as they go, and then you're able to really help them. Then we have another program that's called Family Sources, another city program, right? That just do this total wraparound services for the whole family. And when it comes to like the mothers of the kids and the wives or the girlfriends or the gang members, we send them to the Family Source program to get real services like the child care, you know, to help them with, they got a program called PACE that helps pay low-income folks bills and stuff like that. And Friends Outside is a program that can help guys that just been recently released from jail, stuff like that. So just having all the resources lined up to be able to service them. What happens here is our mayor and our council people, what they did is they opened up all the city services for us to be able to use them. That's unusual because, you know, when you were here, they wasn't open up like that. We was out there just, you know, scraping and grinding in front of them on our own. Now all the city services that they provide are all open up to us. Back in the truck. So all the city services now are like open up to us now. So we're able to access stuff that we wasn't, like the Work Source, Family Source, all the different programs, the WIA, Workforce Investment Act programs, all the other different programs that we got here, they open up to us. And in some cases, we have like a certain amount of slots that's allocated to us, so our folks don't have to get in the line.
Get in the line, wait, right,
you know right. You know, so we're able to put them on this special list and kind of get them in before they get discouraged, get them going. You know, so that's probably the difference, but it should actually, if we're able to take those kind of approaches and stuff, then man, it should be easy out there if we really offering something to the people. But we ain't offering nothing, man. We're just going continuously, you know, what's happening is going to happen, you know. And another component is our program is Safe Passage. It's something I designed years ago when you were here. That helps kids get to and from school safe by putting folks from the community that can pass background scans and stuff, but people that are really from the community that have pull in the community to be able to help the kids get to and from school safe without them being initiated into a gang, without somebody, you know, trying to sell them some drugs, without a pedophile running around trying to mess with the little girls and stuff like that. This is a protection system for our kids to be able to get to and from school, and the job is done off campus, not on campus. It's done doing the routes that the kids take to and from school, and for you to secure those routes that they take to and from school, so our young men, the attendance rate go up. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of black males that drop out of school because it's so tough getting to and from school with all this stuff out in the streets that, you know, they rather just stay at home and not even deal with it. You know what I'm saying? But if we had things in place that could help them securely get to school and get home from school, attendance rate would go up. You know what I'm saying? The dropout rates would go up. You know? But if not, then it's going to continue to decline. You know what I'm saying? So just putting things in place that's going to really be able to take the kids and the gang members and the young adults to a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying? You got to really provide to them what you provide for anybody else. You know, because in reality, they're any other citizen like anybody else. You know, just got the gang label tagged onto them. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, they go home to a family like anybody else going to a family. They got a mother and father like anybody else got a mother and father. They got uncles, aunties, sisters, and brothers like anybody else got them. You know.
Well, you know, it's been 10 years since I've been here, man. But just from the couple of days I've been here, man, honestly, I can see the difference. I've seen new libraries, new schools in South Central. You know what I'm saying? Back home, they closing schools. You know what I'm saying? They closing libraries. You know what I mean? They closing recreation centers. You know how that is. That's how it was back then. But now, I don't see the graffiti on the walls like I used to. You know what I'm saying? You see graffiti everywhere. You don't see too much graffiti anywhere, man. So I can see how the gang intervention has really worked in the time that I've been gone. You know, and you know, like when I was in gang intervention, I mean, I learned a lot about gangs from all of my coworkers, Leon. But I learned about gang intervention from you. I learned about what to do about it from you. You know what I'm saying? I rode with other cats and went to their neighborhoods and stuff like that. Got to know the cats in the neighborhood, the gang members and everything. But I learned from you, honestly, about gang intervention. You know, the real meaning of gang intervention, what needs to be done. And thanks, man, for the knowledge that you shared to me, man.
Yes, sir.
You know, and you know, I'm back home now, man. Hopefully I can bring some of this knowledge back to my people, man. And you know, we can start building new schools and new libraries and stuff again, man, because it's not going in the direction like I know it can go. You know what I mean? I mean, they're closing schools and oh man, it's like total opposite. But it's like the era that was before here, you know, and that's what I keep telling people. What y'all doing, you're like 20 years behind. You know, if you want to claim Bloods and Crips and stuff like that, well, if you want to really be like them, be like they are now. Don't be like they were, you know, back then. I mean, these guys have actually came to a truce, and when they meet, they meeting up in parks and stuff. We the Bloods, we the Crips. Okay, bang, 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 bang. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? So I want to bring the message that, you know, the LA Bloods and Crips have exercised that spirit. That's a spirit of death. You know what I'm saying? Y'all put that spirit of death to rest, right? Why do they need to come and revise the same spirit that you guys done died for? You know what I'm saying? You how many homies you got to die behind that, Leon? Tell them.
Man, hundreds and thousands and died, you know, to this violence out here, because violence out here is to a whole nother level. It's like real hate. It was at one point, it was like a real hate for a black man really hated another black man to the point where there was no problem killing him. So, you know, we would have like 1,200, 1,300 homicides in a year. Now we're down to having like 200 homicides a year. So big difference, you know, it's because of politicians believing in the interventionists, and the interventionists willing to work with the politicians and everybody really getting on the same page and say, hey, something has to happen about this, you know.
That's like really, man, if as many my homies in Baltimore get killed as you know, we would have a population of 0. See, because Baltimore is so small compared to Los Angeles that if you just take the population of dead people, it'll be my whole city.
Right, and by Baltimore being small, it should really be easier to to implement this. LA is big, widespread. LA, you could sit Baltimore, you could sit New York, and probably Jersey all in LA at the same time. But you know, it's widespread, so we're able to be successful with it in a widespread area. And in an area so small, you should really be able to get out there and really bring some peace to that community. You know, by you know, bringing the resources. You got to go. You know, then the politicians have to step up. If they don't have the right resources, they got to go to the federal government for the resources. Like LA, the mayor goes to the federal government to go get the resources.
The mayor does.
Yeah, wherever the resources at, you know, that we need, they go dig them out for us. You know, because they really believe in it. But we got other stuff like professional training that we have set up now, though. You know, LA violence interruption training. You know, before you left, we had training too. But they didn't took the training even to a whole nother level. You know,
I can tell.
I mean, I can tell folks on how to actually go out there and do the work. Not you just go out there and talk to your homies, but how to go out there and talk to your homies. And then after you get your homies to buy in, you know, how do you get them into the office to start really doing some real work with them? See, street intervention, that's one part, and that's one half of it. But the other half is me actually fixing the individual. You know what I'm saying? Provide a service that can really help a person become the person that they really want to be all the time. You know. But if you don't have all that stuff in place, it's gonna be hard, man. You know.
Yeah.
And then, you know, and then it's like, there's always folks, you know, because the real of it is that if you want to know something, you got to go ask. You got to go ask what it is that you want to know. You know what I'm saying? If you really want to know about gangs, go to where folks really gang bang, or folks really do intervention, and ask them about that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's the only way you're going to come. You ain't going to be able to figure it out yourself, you know?
And that's what my city is trying to do. They're having all kind of talk shows, and they're asking each other, what should we do about it? You know, and I know the solution, and that's why I came here where the gangs is, and talk to professionals like yourself, my homie, you know, to let them know when I be telling them who I am and what I did, I ain't got to talk.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You are who you say you are, and they should recognize who you are, who you say you are, you know, and they should recognize that, you know, within you got the power of if you needed folks to come and they were willing to send for folks to come out there and help you organize, that you got folks that come out there and help you organize whatever you need to organize, you know. So, you know, yeah, Kevin Eaton's real, you know. He's somebody that I trained. He's been up under me for years and stuff, you know. Was able to take it back, and even some of the work that he did in the school, we kind of talked back and forth about even some of the work that he was doing in the schools, you know, setting up the safe passage programs. And I know he talked about the buses, and we talked about setting up the safe passage through the buses, and all kind of different things. So it's all kind of different angles you could take to create safety in the community and bring the level of gang violence down, you know. But it's going to take a collaborative effort between the whole city. It's going to take intervention. It's going to take politicians, and it's going to take law enforcement all to get together and get on the same page and say this is the mission. This is what we want to do. We want to bring the rate of gang violence down. The rate of violence, period. We want to bring it down. You know. So at any given time you need us, you know you can call us. And the folks believing in what we're doing out here, you know, you got that line on us to where you're able to say, hey man, I need you to come out. You know what I'm saying? The timing is right. You know what I'm saying? And they're willing to send for us. We'll come out there. You know.
I went to, when I first came home, I think about 2000, I would say 2004, 2005, I attended a quote-unquote gang summit, okay, at a church, you know, big church in East Baltimore, and there was not one gang member in the summit. There was not one gang member in there. You had a bunch of preachers, you know what I'm saying, and you had, you know, some community people and everything, but for the big gang summit, the only person that they had was Bones from Athens Park. He came out there with his DVD and everything, but you know, but I mean, he was the only person there that actually wore the hat of a gang member. And being in Baltimore, how can you have a gang? How can you have a gang summit without gang members there?
Right.
So you got preachers. Oh, I got $1 million. Come on, let's go out and take our community back. We can take our streets back, and all this old smoke blowing.
You can't take the streets back without getting the folks in the streets to buy in. You know, that sounds good, you know what I'm saying? But if it was that easy, it would have been happening.
Right. Yep.
You know, you gotta have street folks involved in the conversation. You got very intelligent street folks out here. Baltimore and any other major city, you got very smart street people. You need to bring some of those street people into the loop of the conversation to be able to build something that's real. You cannot build something for people without the people being a part of what you're building. You know? It's like you making a plan for me and I'm not included in the plan. How you gonna make a plan for me then? If I'm not included in what my plan is gonna be. You know? You see how I said when we deal with our clients, we make a plan for the client and we bring the client in and see if the plan fits the client. If it don't fit the client, then tell us what fits you. Because the plan has to be for the people. This is who we working to change. If they ain't involved in it, then we can't change it. There need to be peers talking to peers. You know, once I sell this to certain peers, they should be able to go out to their peers and sell their peers on, hey man, we need to stop this, and if not, then this is what's gonna happen. You know, and these are the things that they're gonna set up for us to be able to make that change that we wanna make. You know, but you gotta have things in place. If they ain't in place, it ain't gonna work, man. If you ain't dealing with the streets itself, then it ain't gonna work. You can't make a plan for the streets, especially for the streets, without the streets being involved.
Okay. I got one more question, Leon, man. I know you busy, you do your thing. Tell my people, man, the other places in LA that you've been called to come to help them with their, you know, gang situation and start intervention in their cities.
Man, I've been called in New Jersey. I've been called out to Cleveland. I didn't even call some of them.
Can y'all go to DC one time?
Yeah, we out DC. I didn't been called to DC so many times. It's ridiculous, you know.
Yeah, okay.
So I've been called to DC. Man, I done been all to Massachusetts. I done you know, got to connect with the brothers in Chicago. I done made connection with brothers in New York. Just wherever I can, man. I just love to see us get it right. You know what I'm saying? So I done been a lot of places, you know, just giving brothers the inspiration that it can be done, and just trying to give them, you know, a little foundation to run with, you know. But I done been all over the place, you know. I've been especially California. I done been all through the state of California, you know, all of Northern California, Southern California, Central California, you know. We done been out to Vegas. We done been out in Arizona, you know. We done been places, you know.
Okay.
You know, I done been called out by the President of the United States when Bill Clinton was the president. You know that, you know.
I seen your picture with him.
Yeah, I done met with Bill Clinton 7, 8 times. You know, we done here in L.A. just recently, about 2 years ago. You know, Eric Holder was down here. We met with Eric Holder about the same, you know, about gang situation that's happening down here. He was the Attorney General. You know what I'm saying? You know, so on that level, I done dealt with street folks. I done dealt with the most powerful politicians there is, and whoever else that needs to be talked to. Because one thing about me, you know, I ain't afraid to say what I know. You know what I'm saying? To whoever I think that may need to hear it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not afraid to help whoever I think I need to help. So if somebody needs some help and I think I can be helpful, I'm most definitely going to be there, you know, because this is about people being real and stepping up to the plate and just, you know, just trying to make a change. So that's me. I'm there. I'll be wherever. And like I said, I've been all over. I done been called to Switzerland and plenty other places, you know. So I just got through dealing with a group of folks from Brazil, you know, some black Brazilians, you know, who were having the same issues over in Brazil who came out, and I talked with them. But I done sat down with folks in London who has the same issues that we have, you know what I'm saying, for as gangs is concerned. So it's not just here in the United States, it's global, you know, so yeah.
Well, I appreciate your time, Leon. I really appreciate the knowledge that you shared with me, man. It made me a better person.
Yes, sir.
And it made me a person that I know I can make a change in my community, man. You know, I know I can. You know what I'm saying? I don't think so. I know it. You know what I'm saying?
You know.
So it's been great, man.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
My man.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, man.
No problem, man.
All right. And this here is really amazing to me. It's been 10 years since I've been here too. So to me, all of this is new. All right, so we're here actually down in Watts. And in case you're not familiar with anything, this here is what's called the Watts Towers. Okay, now last time I was here, the Watts Towers was the only thing that was down here. They didn't have all of this park area, but they made a little park area. And it's really nice down here. They look like they cut off the street here and just made the whole thing a nice little park. And the last time I was down here, they didn't have no fence around it or anything. You could just walk up to the Watts Towers, and they have so much respect for the person who built these towers that they actually have a plaque outside to tell his name and everything. And this is really nice if you ask me, because none of this stuff was out here before, and it just shows you how the city of Los Angeles is taking in consideration the history of Watts. Okay, you might not hear about stuff like this on regular television, but the city is involved with the renovation of the area of Watts in Los Angeles. Way to go, LA. Okay, we're spending our day in the hood today. We was invited to an event by the Grape Street Crips today, and they have invited, you know, it's an open house for fathers, and we were allowed permission to film it.
and we're going to show you the work that the OG Crips and OG Bloods are doing in efforts to bring peace to their neighborhoods. We're down in South Central. Actually, we're in Watts, and we've been spending our day with the Grape Street Crips, which we're about to go back there now. And hopefully we'll be around for the little fathers conference that they're having inside of Grape Street, and they're inviting Bloods to come in also. All right? So stay tuned. It's only going to get greater later. Okay, we about to go into the Jordan Downs Community Center. This is where they have their, the men, the fathers, have a little gathering where they sit down and, you know, spit game with each other and find jobs for the youngsters and try to keep the youngsters out of the street and out of the gang activities. This goes down right here in Grape Street with the Grape Street Crips. Talk to you later.
Hi, my name is Manny Miller. I'm a member of Project Fatherhood here in Watts, California. We're in the Jordan Downs Projects in the Community Center, where we host here once a week a meeting with Project Fatherhood. That's men of the Jordan Downs Projects and within the surrounding community, where we come together and sit down and open up a dialogue about up-to-date situations that's taking place, both negative and positive, and we just try to continue to just uplift each other to be living examples to our children, because that's what it's all about, the generation following, so that their lives won't be in jeopardy as ours has been over the years past with this gang-banging situation that arose many years ago between Crips and Bloods. Nothing good is going to ever come out of that, because what's actually taking place, we as black people have been killing ourselves off. Young men killing young men, which is causing us to become extinct in this time and age. So before you even consider to go in the direction of doing any gang banging, learn about the history of it, where it really started, and the results of it. And I guarantee you, you will have a change of heart that you will even want to participate in that type of activity, because it's all negative.
So where did it really start?
To the best of my ability, it started in Los Angeles, California. To my knowledge, I believe it was Tookie Stanley Williams who ended up on death row and ended up being executed maybe, I think, a couple of years ago, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that, but you can do your research, you know, Google it. Honestly, him and another brother that I've heard of named Jamal, I believe they were some of the founders of the Crips. Now, as far as the Bloods, I don't know.
Okay, so how involved was the Grape Street Crips in this whole affair?
Well, Grape Street Crips over in the Jordan Downs Projects just became another gang within this community. Just like there's neighborhoods all over. And this neighborhood happened to be called WVG Grape Street Watts, which I was a member of at one point in time in my life. I'm 48 years old today, and I'm more wiser than I was back then. And now I'm trying to give back to the community by representing Project Fatherhood along with my other comrades who were also involved in ways as well in gangs, and we're just trying to change the tone of this thing that got out of hand, because we are fathers and grandfathers today, and we don't want our young men to grow up killing each other, because like I mentioned earlier, that's just what's going to take place. You're going to find your sons and daughters, nephews, uncles, cousins perishing. And who's going to be the one doing it? Ourselves, black men, young black youth.
So Grape Street, was that a small gang or was it a big gang?
It was rather large gang.
A huge gang.
Huge gang, which to this day is known to be notorious. There's plenty of plenty of rank within the gang, and it's a serious thing. It's a real life, it's a reality that take place, and so like I mentioned earlier, before you think about even going in that direction, you need to do some research.
Okay.
And I'll guarantee you, you'll have a change of heart.
Well, bro, thank you very much for your interview, man. Thank you very much, man. I'm going to take this back to my hometown, Baltimore, because, you know, like I say, the Bloods and Crips, they started up out there, but they're like 30 years behind the game. Right now, they're at the point where they're just meeting up in parks and going at it. But you know where it's going to go from there.
Yes.
So that's why I'm here to take some of this knowledge back to them. Hopefully they'll look at this thing and really understand that they're digging up a deaf spirit. You know, a spirit of death that you guys have already exercised and put it to rest.
Exactly.
Okay.
Thank you for allowing me to share. This was all from the heart. Once again, my name is Manny Miller out of Project Fatherhood in Watts, California. And as you can read from the t-shirt that I'm wearing, it's going to take us as a people to put this stuff to rest so that we can live. Peace.
Thanks, bro. Thank you very much.
Vince was happy.
Everything basically has been the same. Summertime, the kids, they give me a break. Some of the schools over there, they go to my daddy's house. So, you know, I got the crew with me. You know, but I was able to drop them off with their big sister. So
Yeah, he's gonna come get him. The boy's gonna come get him next week.
oh yeah, well, he's going to practice right now. He just told me, Daddy, we got a passing league game up at Sarah Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, so I'm gonna go check that out. And outside of that, man, everything just, you know, everything is basically the same. Like, I'm gonna say like what Manny was saying, we got all our little certificates out of the week program. So we finished over there. But anyway, on that too, for the cats who think that's it, and you got to put your work in now.
There's other things.
You got to put your work in, man. They gave you two.
You got to go use it. Tell yourself, man. You got to put yourself, you know, on the front line. You know what I mean? Sit on your seat. But then, you know what I'm saying? If you get busy,
Oh, yeah.
Go back to these waters.
That's my neighborhood.
Rip them clothes over there, bro.
All right, I'm gonna go get a box for the trash.
Over at Maxine Waters, Junior, that works in one of the offices over there. Fuck Junior. The finance office. By the 25th, he's supposed to have a new, updated list of job sites. So, I encourage y'all to, you know, stay in touch with him or I myself. Once I get the list, I'll bring it here, and we can run some copies off of it, and that's the lead right there. Because you remember, gave us those little small books with pens and told us we go to each job site to log it down, so when he comes and do a one-on-one with you to see how you've been applying yourself, it'll work to your benefit for him to vouch for you to get you on one of these job sites.
Anybody else? The good boys, y'all got something y'all want to share with young brother? Something about the hey, just share about the little thing with you on Friday. Children Institute Fatherhood of the War.
You know, the banquet that day was lovely, man. You know what I'm saying? I got to meet some celebrities up there. I met Judge Joe Wong from American Court. You know what I'm saying? It was just, you know, it was a really nice time. But honestly, I was kind of down. One of my sons called himself mad at me and ran off and went to school, didn't want to attend the banquet with me. But I was attend all his banquets when he had his. But we got it together though, man. You know, just that he, you know, still be young, you gotta learn, you know what I'm saying? But besides that, you know, everything in school, it was lovely. I mean, the whole book was all lovely, man. I'm like, really shocked because like, I know I was nominated, but I didn't think I had a chance to win. But when they called me for one of the winners, you know, it was only 3 of us that won. They called me, I was one of the 3, and I was like, man, wow, you know what I'm saying? I wish they did.
They're fighting out here.
Okay, that was a meeting down at Grape Street, and I just want to let y'all know that that fight that broke out, it had nothing to do with gangs. It was a domestic situation, you know how that go, you know, you lady, you know what I mean? So it was handled, and it was diffused, and it wasn't gang related at all, so don't get any ideas, all right? We were down in the Jordan Down projects. Today we're in Nickerson Gardens, and the Nickerson Gardens and Jordan Downs were rival gang enemies. Historically in Watts, they were the rival gang enemies, but you have your Bloods in Nickerson Gardens and your Crips over in Grape Street, which was Jordan Down. Okay, we're down here in Watts. As you can see here, this is a community-based organization that ex-gang members have put together to do gang intervention, which is right across the street from the Nickerson Garden projects. These are some of my old co-workers that I used to work with gang intervention when I was down here in Los Angeles, and they taught me everything I know about gangs and gang intervention and all about gang graffiti and everything like that. And this is pretty fly because they got their name up here, and look at the name of the organization is Kush. How about that? The brothers got named Kush. Go figure. L.A. Yay, yay. Go for it.
Hey, my name is Robert Hayes, a.k.a. Mr. Cisco from Venice, ex-Venice Shoreline Crip gang member, 57 years old, out here in Los Angeles, California, working in the Watts area. This is the Nickerson Gardens area. As Kevin had already recorded, that particular area and things of that nature were home of the Bounty Hunter Bloods. Then you have the Grape Street Watts Crips that way, and the Imperial Court Crips that way. In Venice, where I'm from, the Venice Crips is out by Venice Beach. You know, we working 100% hard. Kevin Eden is one of my ex-co-workers and things of that nature while he was here in Los Angeles that did a fantastic job as far as helping us, you know, delete, I'm going to use that word, delete the situation of black on black crime and things of that nature, you know. We know we'll never get rid of the gangs per se, period. But if we can get ceasefires in our community, which we need, Los Angeles being the home of the Crips and Bloods and the outstanding gang activity problem here in the United States of America, you know, we are trying hard to save our youth out here by any means necessary, any shape, form, or fashion that we can come about any resources to help save our community and help save our youth, upcoming youth, no matter what color they are, black and brown, everybody catch a bullet, because bullet has no eyes once they get to popping out those guns. So if you care about the community, you know, a lot of people will say, well, that's going on in the black community, or that's going on in the Latino community. Other people get hit too. They move in here. The whole United States is in a recession. And they move in here, whites as well, Asians as well, and things of that nature, moving in the black and brown community, because it's too far to commute out any other places. No jobs are out there. Most of the jobs are in the inner city and things of that nature, but the gangs have not went away. So is there any kind of resources that you can help us and things of that nature for, as far as bringing some resources that we can get other people, like my brother Kevin Eden, we can collaborate from here to Baltimore and come to Baltimore and show you how we have slowing down the gang activity and the recruiting and things of that nature, because I'm pretty sure you guys will have a clue. And I've been doing it here almost 30 years, and we still don't have a full hammer on it, but we have slowed the process down. I want to thank you for listening. My name is Robert Hayes again, a.k.a. Mr. Cisco.
Thanks, Cisco.
For sure. Hey, this is Luca Keith. We're in Watts, California. I'm here with Big Kev from the East Coast. This is Kush. This is an intervention program, and I'm showing them around in our little office. This is our office right here. This is Secretary Donna's desk right here, and then what she do all the paperwork. And then we're gonna walk back here with me and Robert Hayes. Office back here in the back. This office right here. This is located. These are all the spots where the gangs are. Deary Lanes, South Lopes, the Broadways, Twilight Zone, the Zone Crips, East Side Hustlers. You got the Backstreet Crips on the backside of the lock. You know this is Bounty Hunter area right here. Then we got the Miller Bloods, Kitchen Crips, Anthony Park. Then we shoot way over here. The Paybacks and the Raymonds in this little area right here. So this is the office right here. This the bill, this the little board when we go do our speaking. We show the youngsters, the do's and don'ts, the guys who's in prison, the ones who lost their lives through gang violence. This is obituaries and stuff. We go do our impact session around the schools, around the churches. We let them know what's going on. These youngsters right here. Then we got the other board. Same thing. These are the ones, all the brothers that's in the penitentiary, dead, young lady. This is the young lady right here. And then all these cats, Crips and Bloods from different neighborhoods.
Okay.
We're showing them what's happening. You remember this one right here, Kev? In front of the Staples Center. Stop the killing. Me, Leon, Cisco, you right up in here.
I'm in there?
You right. You're in the back by Bobby Broham over here.
You seen Bobby?
Bobby, haven't seen Bobby Broham.
Okay.
But Robert, we get in contact with Bobby. This is our paperwork we'll be doing right here. Our daily logs, what we're doing to keep an update what's going on in the city.
Okay.
So this is what we're doing.
Okay. So if I was to come back to L.A., where my desk would be at, boo?
Oh, your desk be right over here with me and Cisco. We have it hooked up. You got a file cabinet right here.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is us right here.
Okay, cool.
And then this one of the youngsters right here, hell of a football player, come out of Crenshaw High School. Man, he had a scholarship to about 25 schools. Hell of a receiver, should be in the NFL, but he got caught up in that gang violence stuff. Top receiver in Southern California. Yeah, this is this right here.
Okay.
And we'll walk across the street.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna cut this off for a minute because I ain't seen my man Big Boo in 10 years. So we gonna get some of that Cali love.
And then back here, back in the back. Come on. Listen. That's Big Jeff right there.
Big Jeff.
Yeah.
How you doing, Jay? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
Good. Down there doing it, huh?
This is what we do, our little stuff, paperwork and stuff. Back here in the back.
Okay.
Yeah. They got a thing Saturday over there. They're gonna have a big old event.
Well, we're gonna be to that.
Yeah.
We're gonna be to that.
And then I'm gonna give you a flyer right now.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that Saturday for sure. For sure.
This the flyer right here.
The flyer, let me see. Hold it up.
Okay, this the flyer right here. It say Unity, Community, and Family Day. It's going to be all family. It's going to be the 23rd from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Okay.
And then at my school, King Drew, we have the Drew League. That's another event.
Okay.
Yeah, this one of the youngsters right here, too.
Okay, how you doing, man?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Big Boo, for the interview.
Yeah.
Good, Big Boo.
Oh, no, just put it in. You got to say something.
Josh and Anthony jump it on. This is the fourth game of a 7-game schedule. Back there is out rebounded by the game. Game brings it up in the attacking zone. Jump pass, Nico Randolph, assist. Game rebounded by the game. Game brings it up in the attacking zone. Jump pass, Nico Randolph, assist. Game. Strong. Rebounded by Meta. Tough ball pass to Randolph. Two-hand throw down, assist. World peace. 1-2 rebound by Harris. Harris rejected out of bounds. Money. Reaches the attacking zone. Looks for Harris. Left corner. Misfires. Randolph with the rebound. Right back to Harris. He ain't gonna miss too many. Robert Harris. Black Talents.
Compton Hub City, better known as Compton. It's in Compton, California. I'm with my babysitter. She used to babysit me when I was little, about 5 years old, coming up. That's my babysitter, Darlene. It's my big homie's nephew, Glenn. You know, yeah, right. And this is the city right here. This is Compton. Okay.
Hub City.
Hub City, right here. Hold on, wait.
It's the original front here.
And then we're doing. This is all the stuff cats be running around, getting in trouble. The front of the store, all the little gang banging, shooting, and stuff right here. This right here, this is Hub City. This is what I'm talking about when you had the dope going on. I mean, real gang banging, Crip. This is Compton. This is the blue, but they wear blue around here. PCP, the marijuana, and I mean the youngsters sagging, getting out of prison, banging. I'm talking about seriously banging, carrying guns. This is a store right here. The store owner used to be here was owned by blacks, and then the lady got killed back in 1974, 75 by one of the youngsters doing 25 years of life right now. But we cleaning it up now. We're trying to get these youngsters back into sports, football, baseball, basketball, make them be a student athletes. A student in the classroom, an athlete on the field. We try to bring unity around here. We want these youngsters to know about life. Respect your parents, your mother, father. Go to school. Stop all this banging and stuff. And that's why I'm here. I was born and raised in Compton, California. Went to Centennial High. Went to Willowbrook, El Segundo. Once again, I was babysitted by her, Darlene. You know, and we used to play the park in the neighborhood. Baseball was jumping off until the youngsters start banging, start carrying guns, start having weed in their pocket. You want to do a quick come up. So this is Compton Hub City right here. This is original right here. Compton right here. And ain't nobody put no gun in my pocket, no dope. I played Power 1 football, Little League baseball, went straight to high school, played ball, went to Southern University, tried out with the St. Louis Cardinals in baseball, the Phillies, and also went to New Mexico for baseball. So I come back and be a coach. I've been coaching ever since 1993 at Centennial High, Locke, and I got a Little League team right now called Compton Little League, and my goal is to get to the Little League World Series one day. And once again, I was raised up by my father and my mother and father. They taught me the right way. They put that strap on me. And that's why I'm at today. I can thank God. I'm 49 years old. I'm working at King Drew Magnum High School. I'm a coach. I'm a certified intervention specialist. And I got a prison ministry. And my goal is to keep helping these youngsters, young and old, when they get out of prison, get them in school, get them a job, keep them out of trouble. That's what I'm saying. This is Compton right here. This is the city of Compton. Right here. This is the store. Many guys that got shot right here. On that corner, right here in front of the store. I mean, straight gang banging right here. And I'm a product, but I chose not to go that route. Sports kept me occupied. Worked during the summer program. They had a little summer program, ages 14. I've been working ever since I was 14 years old through the summer program. And we're looking at it today. Right here. Here it is, June 21st, 2012. And I'm blessed. My daddy's the minister. Yeah, the shop right down there where Jenkins at. Many wars been started up in this little square right here. Yep. Compton, California. Compton, California. Right here. This is the Hub City. right here. This guy got shot right on this corner right here. Got shot down on that corner right here. Shooting over this way, and the next block down there. I mean, straight shooting. When I'm talking about banging, I'm talking about straight shooting. But we cleaning it up. We police our own community. We check these youngsters around here. The store. Okay, right here. It's B&M. It's the store right here in the hood. Right here. This is Compton, California. CPT.
Okay, we're down in South Central. We're at South Park. This is down located on 51st Street in San Pedro. This is the famous spot where the Bloods and the Crips came together after the Los Angeles riots, and they had their truce between the Crips and the Bloods. You can look it up on YouTube. This is where the notorious rival gangs in Los Angeles, the Crips and the Bloods, came together, shook hands and hugged, and called a truce on their rival gang affairs. Okay? This is something that you don't hear about on the news. You hear about Rodney King, you hear about the verdicts, you hear about, you know, the riots and all kinds of stuff like that, but you don't never hear about the truth that was a result, a direct result of the Rodney King riots, when the Bloods and the Crips came together and realized that, hey, you know, we don't need to be doing what we're doing. And they came out, and the spot was right here. This is the exact spot right here where they came to their truce, all right? So you only seen it right here. If you don't never see it or hear it again, this is it, all right? Your worldwide least talked about co-host brought you the truth. Over and out. Okay, this is your worldwide least talked about co-host. We're still chilling here in Los Angeles, and I just happened to come across one of my good friends, one of the co-workers that I worked in intervention. He taught me a lot that I know about, you know, gang activity and things of the nature. So what we're going to do is we're going to introduce to you Mr. Bobby Broham, okay? Let me do it. All right, Bobby. It's all you, boy.
How y'all doing? Like I said, my name is Bobby Broham, and one of my love was doing work with this young man doing gang intervention, trying to embrace our young people, trying to show our young people, trying to teach our young people. And was it hard? Can you cuss on this?
Huh?
Can y'all cuss?
You do. Be you.
It was damn hard trying to do that. And we still haven't accomplished it, because as long as a black boy or a black girl is still dying in the streets of South Central, we haven't won. We haven't stopped the war. We haven't stopped nothing. If only one dies a night, we haven't stopped nothing. And there's more than one dying a night. So it's time for this to stop. It's time for black on black crime. Time for blacks to stop hating on blacks. We got to huddle up like a football team. Huddle up. We got to huddle up and decide on what we gonna do as a people and what direction we gonna go in. Because the direction we going in now and been going in is the wrong way. It's the wrong way. Everybody having it their way but us as black people. And anytime we try to get together and have it our way, something wrong. You know, the system intervenes, something wrong. That's why I say we gotta huddle up and figure out what we gonna do for us. You know, then maybe once we figure that out, maybe we can help somebody else. See, we're not being prejudiced towards northern nationalities, but we got to help ourselves, get the beam out of our own eyes first before we can help somebody else. And that's what's needed right now. We need to come together as a people and decide what direction we want to go in, what direction we want our children to go in. Because the direction they're going in South Central right now is up against a wall. They can't win, they can't, you know, for losing. So
Bobby, let me ask you this. You know, tell my people, you know, where you come from, you know, the activities that you was involved in with your gangs and what actually brought you to the point where you are now.
Well, you know, I lost my son in 1996. He was 16 years old. I thought at the time I knew about what was going on here, you know, with the gangs, but even though I knew some, but it told me that I didn't know. As a parent, I didn't know, and I was sometimes mingled with different gang members. And if I didn't know, believe me, a lot of the parents here don't know what's really going on with the children out here, because we're losing our kids. For a black man to hate another black man is just not common from our people. It's not common for us to hate on one another like that. We've always been the people who had love for one another. From way back from Africa, we've always had love for one another. So now to see where we've come to now, to distrust, dislike, and hate one another, it's something I really don't want to be a part of. I don't want to be identified with that. And for me to just sit by and not say nothing, I can't do it. It's not feasible. That's why I have to say something. I'm going to say something every time. Because we dying. Our kids are dying out here. Like I said, I lost my son in '96 at 16 years old. And the 15-year-old that killed him, I don't hate him because I know at 15, no matter what gangster name he went by, he was still a kid himself. At 15, it was 5-6 years ago, he may have been still waiting, peeing in the bed. So this is a kid, no matter what they say, no matter how many guns he may have had on him, he was still a kid. And a lot of times, these kids are fixed into a situation where there's no return. It's like when a 17-year-old kills someone. Do you know that when a police officer sometimes, when they kill a suspect out here in the streets, sometimes that officer retires because as a grown man, a 35 or 40-year-old, sometimes they can't handle the pressure from killing someone, from taking someone's life. So how do you think a 15-year-old or a 14-year-old feel after they've taken someone's life, you know, and don't get caught for how they have to live? And our kids need help. They need us. I know they need it because as a kid, at one time myself, I didn't grow up like that because black men everywhere had my back and all the kids around me. They always had our backs. Even if we knew them or not, we could be in another city. Black folks always looked out for one another. So that's one of the things that's missing right now from America. That's one of the things that's missing with black people. We're not looking out for one another, you know, and we suffer from it.
So I know, you know, when I was out here before working with you, Bobby, you know, this is like your garage and everything, and I know that the gang members would come here and basically, you know, lift their weights and stuff like that. It was like a hangout to get away from, you know, the activity and stuff like that.
Well, what happened in '86 when I came home in '86, and my sons were in junior high school, and when they was going to junior high school, the oldest one was going to junior high school, the other two were still in elementary. But I seen that there was so much killing going on in the streets that I built this garage, well not the garage, I put it together, put the weight system together out front, everything, the speed bag, the heavy bags, the dart sets, the weight sets, the mini bikes we have around here, the pool table. I put all this together to give my kids and maybe their friends somewhere to go. Because as a kid, we always had somewhere to go. Someone always looked out. And what I was trying to do was give them somewhere to be and instead of being on the streets. And what happened is the kids up the street came eventually. You know, the kids around the corner came eventually because we had so much stuff back here. Then the local gang came from over here. Then some of the gang members came from over there. You know, some of the, you know, so I started mingling a whole lot. Now, coming from that same climate myself, from the east side, because we're on the west side now, coming from that, I know a little bit about that, you know. But I still, as a parent, I still didn't see the full effect of what was taking place on our streets. You know, I realize now that our kids are dying. You know, our 14-year-olds and 13-year-olds that sometimes can't defend themselves, don't have guns to shoot back because they've been shot at, you know, shot down and shot to death. They don't, you know, at a bus stop, he has nowhere to run, and they're being killed. So even in the wars across the water, this system in other countries, sometimes they negotiate, sometimes they have talks, they have peace talks, but they do have talks. And what I'm telling my black gangs throughout America, sometime, sooner or later, some of y'all got to start talking to slow this down, you know, because you're making us weak because you're killing a lot of young black men, you know, so we're becoming outnumbered now, you know, we're becoming we're not the weaker nationality. We've never been the weaker nationality. We've always been the strongest nationality in the world at all times. Now, if someone disputes that, don't be mad with me, be mad with God who created us. He created us that way, you know. So, but we need help now with our young men, you know, not just in L.A., you know, in Washington, in Memphis, in Seattle, in Florida, in Oklahoma, you know, all over the city. In Ohio, they're starting to gangbang, and once one killing takes place, another killing takes place, and the hatred starts to grow. And then once you do one killing, it gets easier to do a second killing. Sometimes you do one killing, you have to do another one to relieve that tension, that stress. And see, that's a bad way to live because, you know, we're infested with Satan and his ways now. And a lot of us don't know anything about God or Satan or who's running this world. You know, we don't know anything about that, so we live on with it. But Satan is having it his way now.
Okay.
You know, we're being destroyed because we're God's chosen. You know, again, don't be mad with me for saying that. We're God's chosen people. You know, I've read the books too. I've read some of the Quran. I've read some of the Holy Bible. I've read Hinduism. I've read Buddhism. I've even read Ramana Krishna, who really is more of a philosophy than it is a religion. So don't be mad with me. You know, these things are written.
Okay.
But that's who we are. That's who we are. We're compassionate by nature.
Okay.
You know, so to see my young brothers dying all across America now, it bothers me. Not just losing my own son, but many of those who've lost their sons. I share their pain. I share their suffering. Because that's hard to lose your child. You know, but I'm telling to the men across America, we've got to stand up and start not taking the streets back, not taking the communities back. We don't own none of that, no way. Our children we want back. We want the love of our children. We want to love our children again. That's what we have to do. And we have to start speaking up because at my age, my elderly, they raised us. They never turned their backs on us. They never turned their backs on us. They always stayed involved with our lives. We are, and at one time in my life, a black man couldn't beat up a black woman on the streets of South Central without black men pulling up and having something to say and to do about that situation. Well, that was a time, and I remember that. You know, I remember that well. I remember that you could be riding from California to Texas, and you see somebody black on the highway, and it was like a family member. You know, some people maybe still share that thing, but I remember that. That's who we was. You know, so closely connected. And it seems as though this system has been trying to break that bond with black people. Break that bond. Because we've had a bond that we've lived with. Even from the shores of Africa. We've come here with that bond towards one another. But that bond has finally been broken to where at one time you didn't hear black people killing the way the killing is going on now. If someone did a crazy killing in the street, you knew it was somebody else other than somebody black. But now we've been in this land so long, we've partaken of his ways, his culture, we have become as him. You know, and this is an evil man that runs this country, a very evil man, and we've partaken his ways. So some of this is some of the outcome for us laying down and going along with this. That's why I say we've got to huddle up. We've got to figure out what we're going to do. Like the Jews figure out what they're going to do. Like the Koreans figure out what they're going to do. Don't be mad with us because the Indians have the casinos now. They figured out what they had to do. We've got to figure out what we're going to do and quit depending on the government and Sam to take care of us and take care of us at our old age. Because it's not going to happen. He's not going to take care of us. He's not going to take care of your children. All you have to do is watch what's happening today to see that. To see that. Just watch what's taking place today. You know that he does not have your best interest at heart. So we have got to come up with ideas and solutions that's going to take care of us as a people. Not excluding no one else, but we've got to take care of ourselves first before we can see about someone else.
You want to explain your wall to us?
My wall
Hold
is...
tight, hold tight. Let me wall to us.
Okay, you might want to shoot while I'm talking. Well, the wall is...
Go ahead.
When we were doing the gang intervention, we didn't have an office like many people have their office, a high-rise building. We didn't have much to work with. We wasn't getting the money from the government each month for doing something. We had to come out of our own pockets. So we did barbecues, whatever we could, to make something happen. And we found that many of our young men did want another way out. A lot of them are just looking for work. A lot of them are looking for better education, but they're not receiving it. They're not getting it. They're not getting their fair share. So this is what this is. This is us being involved with South Central. All of this is South Central. This is most of the games. Red, blue, purple, lime green, black rag, Santana. Who else up here? Orange. This is mostly South Central. There's not too many gangs that have not been in this backyard at one time or another. So it's legendary. A lot of the pictures are a lot of events. Take this event right here. This is 14 different games. We did a bike ride for peace that you were a part of.
Yeah, I remember that.
We did a bike ride for peace coming from 103rd and Central all the way to Expedition
Park.
Yep.
Leaving
the sports arena.
Yeah, right.
I remember
right for peace. Now you don't see the young kids in this picture, but there was majority kids from age 12 to 19, and we rode bicycles, and we rode with them. And we got 12 to 14 different gangs to ride with us. You know, red. You see the red and the blue. You know, we done that. That's an example of how a lot of our young men with the rest they want to go in, but we got to struggle with them. We got to push with them. We got to strive with them. We got to work with them.
Bobby, you gave me a shirt.
Exodus the Movement?
Yes, no, the Resurrection shirt right here, and it had this on it, and it was, when I wore it, man, I mean, like, it was just something that nobody else had, especially in Baltimore. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know what happened to that shirt, Bobby. You ain't got nothing, do you?
Well, I still got the silk screens.
Okay.
I do still have that.
Okay.
But that is the resurrection.
Explain that.
That's the father right there in the middle. As you notice, he's in all black.
Okay.
He's in all black, representing who he is. He has two sons that are not deceased, but they are brain dead mentally with that philosophy of the killing of one another and the killing of a color. So what he's doing is he's bringing them from the grave. That's why we call it the resurrection. He's bringing them from the grave. The whole picture was supposed to be done just in red, black, and blue, but that's another whole story right there. But yeah, then we took that same picture and put it on the back of a T-shirt.
Right.
And the response we got from
man, I'm telling you, man,
was overwhelming.
I preserved that shirt for the longest, and I don't know what happened to it.
That's what that is. That's considered the resurrection.
Okay.
See, because we started the movement, the Exodus the movement.
Right.
And we learned as we went along the first couple of years that we had to go back to the resurrection because we found that in trying to bring about this Exodus, we were dealing with a lot of our people that were dead, that were brain dead to the system, to the way of this world. So we had to go back.
I see my coworkers down here, huh?
Exactly.
We go Albert.
Yes. Cisco.
Kamani.
Harry.
Leon.
Myself.
Harry. Where was I at that day?
I don't know. You might have been skipping.
I might have gone by then.
No, I don't think so. But anyway, we had to go back and start an organization called the Resurrection because we found that we had to bring lots of folks from the grave, from the dead. Like I don't mean physically dead. You know, mentally dead to what's taking place to us, what's the atrocities they're doing to us, and how they get away with it, and things that we're not recognizing, we're not seeing that they're doing to us. So that's what that's called, the resurrection. And that's what that was about. And we would start with cuz and blood first, bringing them back first. That's what the picture represents.
Okay. All right, so we got a shot of your garage, your pool table.
Yeah.
You had weights in here, but you moved them outside, huh?
Oh, no. A lot of weights from here, a lot of them over there.
I'm talking about the weight machines that you used to put them on.
Yeah, outside.
Yeah, I probably was missing in action when y'all took that picture. That's what that was.
Yeah, that's in the backyard.
I was straight missing in action.
Yeah. The hottest organization in the city of Los Angeles,
Gang Intervention.
Right.
Yep.
Gang Intervention.
Yep.
This is a classroom. This is a continuation classroom. This is our co-worker, Big Boo, Kimani, and another gang intervention site.
Big Site.
Big Site. And what happened in the classroom, they overheard Boo and them talking about the backyard.
Right.
A lot of us we were flowing the backyard.
Right.
And the kids wanted to see it, what they were talking about. And the teacher arranged it for them to do a field trip to the backyard. And they was here all day that day.
So these are actually pictures of different gangs in your backyard.
In different events. All of them not in the backyard, but different events.
Okay.
What this right here is, this is a picture of my son, deceased. But what there is, myself, my buddy D, Tyrone, Silk, rest in peace, and Demetrius. The guys, there were two gangs over here called the DONs, which meant Dirty Old Men, and the Deuce Nines, which was 29th Street. Both of them came up in the same area, so we knew both sides. So when they started to go into a little beef with one another, I myself, my buddy D, Tyrone, Silk, rest in peace, and Demetrius
gathered a lot of them together back in his backyard and said, no, we're not going to do it like that. And by us being older and them respecting us, they went with it. And the rest is history. And they came together from that moment on. The Deuce Nines and the DOMs. They've been together ever since. But it took us speaking up as older brothers, as fathers, as uncles. It took us speaking up, not just speaking up, being out here in the backyard with them, involved with them, lifting weights with them. You know what I'm saying? So, but it worked. You know, we showed love and they gave love back. And they haven't warred since with one another.
Okay. So when was that? What year was that? You remember?
That's the 90s.
In the 90s,
That's the 90s. That's the 90s.
Okay.
That's the 90s.
Okay.
That's your boy. Here's now when Geronimo Pratt, this is Geronimo Pratt right here.
Okay.
Remember when he came home? And from the penitentiary, was it 25 or 27 years he did?
Okay.
He spoke at a park called Tim Vernon and Crenshaw, Lamert Park.
Lamert Park.
He spoke at Lamert Park.
We were there
we was
yesterday.
there. We were there too. I don't know if you remember.
Okay.
I spoke to that same day.
Okay.
With my organization Exodus, you know, and we were also security. We were also security for Geronimo Pratt that day. Exodus, the movement was. You know, that's how I got the chance to meet him before he passed.
Okay.
But that was a great thing, you know, and right here is Marcus Garvey Day.
Okay.
You know, and I was offered a chance to speak by the Black Panther Party up at the Elegant Manor, where they do a lot of events at. Gilbert Lindsay Park. We're speaking here and saying something here today. But when I say speaking and hollering, we hollering mostly to Crips and Bloods.
Right.
Because that's what's happening right here in L.A.
Okay.
Now, in Virginia, I don't know what's going on. In Texas, I don't know what's going on. But I do know about it here, and I do know that the influence from here spreads across the country. You know, so whatever they're doing in other places, it's no different from right here. A lot of it may have started, initiated from right here. You know.
Okay.
So a lot of times, all it takes is to say something. You know, say something. Say something. You know, to our young people, and let them know that you do care. You don't necessarily have to be afraid, you know what I'm saying? But say something. But don't do nothing stupid. You see he got a gun in his hand, he mad about something, stay away from him. You know, but if it's somebody you know, and you know he's going on the wrong path, say something. Say something. Because a lot of times when you speak to me and stop me from doing something stupid, I start having a likeness for you, a respect for you. You become a friend for life. Because I know that you cared about me at one time. You looked out for me. You told me right from wrong. And that's all it takes. That don't cost no money. That don't cost a dime.
Well, Bobby, man, I appreciate you, you know, spreading the word and spitting game at my peoples, man. You know, it was good working with you, man. I really like the, you know, the knowledge that you spread to me. Not just you, but Leon and Boo and all you guys, man. And you know, my goal here, I'm on vacation, you know, enjoying the sunshine and the beaches and stuff like that. But you know, you guys put something in my veins. The intervention, you know what I'm saying? And when I see, you know, the situation of the Bloods and Crips, you know, raising up in Baltimore the way it is, man. You know, I know that, you know, you guys know more about Bloods and Crips than anybody.
We know this. We know that many of them don't necessarily know the outcome.
Yeah, I'm talking to Bobby Broham. Yeah, I'm gonna cut right here.
Yeah, but it happened. So when you walk by the car and the old guys up under the car waiting on you, you had no idea that he'd do something like that. He's been around a little bit longer. So that's why sometimes we lose a lot of our young people, man. They do stuff that they have no idea what they're doing, and it costs them their lives. I told my son and his friends, I said, never throw up gang signs. I said, if a person is gang banging, you know, he's considered a soldier, so he should stop that. He should
stop,
be
man.
ready for war.
Don't kick the ball no more. Get off.
I say so now, just like a real soldier. I say so to
get off the line. Come here and sit down.
And you ain't got a rock to throw. You in a war that you shouldn't be in. You in the wrong war. You in a war where they shooting guns and all you doing is writing on the wall and throwing up signs at people. You know, but a lot of those guys that throw the signs, they hit corners on them and come back. They don't even know it. The guy that was throwing the gang signs up, his back is turned. They done hit the corner and came back on him. He don't know. He's 14 years old. He don't have any idea. what a 35 or 40-year-old might do, how conniving they may do. You know, they've pulled up before in a tow truck with a car being towed from behind. You know it's always someone older than him. It's not a 15-year-old back there. They may put one back there. That's someone older who's put that together. So we're losing our kids. That's why we're losing so many of the kids. You know, because they're in a war they shouldn't be in. And it shouldn't even be a war. It shouldn't have been a war. So now across the country, everybody wants to go to a different level. Disciples, everybody taking it to a different level now. You know, this got to stop. This killing of ourselves.
Hey, Bobby, explain to me one more time about the South Park situation. What you just told about the South Park.
About how it was about 2,000 to 3,000 people in the park, inside the park. This is during the riot.
South Park.
We're all coming together because there's different gang members. But on the corner, on the street called San Pedro, there's about 100 of us who haven't made it inside the park yet. But we're stragglers, considered stragglers. But it's about 100 of us. Police pull up, 2 or 3 cars pull up, black and white. And I'm looking at them, and the brother reached and pulled his pistol out. They didn't get out the car, they sat in the car. And they started shooting from outside their car. And the people inside the park don't know who's shooting. All they hear is all this gunfire going on. And it breaks the whole crowd up. It breaks the whole meeting up. It breaks up everything about coming together that particular day at that particular time. Because no one knew what was going on. And it was the police who broke it up, intentionally. Why would you do that? You want them to go back killing themselves? Exactly. Exactly. It's overtime. That's overtime money. You know, going to a shooting, to a stabbing, you know, when it's danger, police, they get more money. It's overtime. Quite naturally, yes. Yes. So we, like I said again, as a people, we've got to, almost like a football team, we've got to huddle up and decide what direction are we going to go in. Decide what we want to do with ourselves and, and for our children. We have got to do that soon. We've got to do it soon. Hey, man, it's been a pleasure talking to you, bro. And I look forward to you, you know, gracing our presence out here one day.
I look forward to it too. I do. I really do.
Okay.
And I'm going to just stay with Cam and make it happen.
Okay. All right. Okay, I'm going to get a phone with the kid. I look forward to meeting you too, brother.
All right, sure.
All right. One love.
All right, man. I'll holler at you.
This is something else we put
Man,
together.
Okay.
And just, let me say a prayer in Hebrew right quick. I don't know if you want to put me on speakerphone or something.
Well, go for it.
But just, okay. Natfonane Baruch Atah Yehovah. Ha-Elohei Abraham, we-Yitzchak, we-Yisrael. Now Yehovah, now Abi, Shema Debarai Akshal. Allow me to put your blessings upon these brothers, that they might serve you to execute your plan for the people, in raising up the people, and saving the people, and in unifying with all those with like missions in mind, for our lives' sake, and for the redemption of our people. Hallelujah, hallelujah, amen.
Amen. All right, man. Appreciate you.
All right, man.
I'll holler at you when we get back on the left side.
All right.
All right.
All right.
All right, we're coming down to our final days. Right here in Los Angeles, California. We're in the Nixon Gardens. This is neighborhood, Blood neighborhood. These are bounty hunters. And this is just an artwork that they have outside of Nixon Gardens. Names of people that have died, been killed in the war between the Bloods and the Crips. And I'm going to end this little venture or documentary or whatever you want to call it. My mission, I'm going to end it on this because I think out of everything that I've been trying to explain to everybody in Baltimore, it all boils down to this here. Nobody can stop this war. But who? Peace. Much love.
to Riggs and Calhoun. From South Baltimore to the Eastern Shore, and to all the white Martians on the moon.
Bells Point, Northwood, North and Pulaski, Edmondson and Walbrook, Sandtown and Rosedale, Belvedere, Sedonia, Beverly Hills.
Well, in Beverly Hills and in Hollywood, in Venice Beach and in Inglewood. Well, Crenshaw, Compton, South Central and Watts. If you a Crip or a Blood, put your hands up. Oh, last call for alcohol. Well, time show flies, having fun like this. Well, you be sure to make me to go some of that more fun with an LA twist. Oh, here comes the white Martian. Is that your spaceship parked outside? I know it, cause the tag said.